Welcome back, my work from homers. This is the last video in my plan series. Doesn't mean I won't do some more of them, but these are the ones I was thinking would be helpful to you. I've been inspired to do a series of videos to help you to work from home now that we've all been thrown into the remote workforce. And for some of us, that's kicking and screaming. For some of us, like me, I've been doing this for years, so this is nothing new to me, but I recognize after the last couple of weeks of requests from me as a trainer, there is some high demand for people out there that are having to work with tools that were thrown in their lap. So hopefully this series has helped you get acclimated to some of the tools that are available to you. In this video, we're going to focus on the calendar options in Teams. On the left-hand side, select Calendar. And your daily calendar should be reflected here. Keep in mind, these are not just your meetings that happen in Teams. This is your calendar for the day, and let me prove that to you. Let's look at Outlook real quick. Notice that I'm looking at the work week view from March 23rd to March 27th. Each day I have a meeting at noon with the daily touchpoint meeting. And then on Tuesday, we had a meeting for the weekly inventory review. The same meetings are shown here. Again, the daily meeting at noon, and then on Tuesday, the meeting at 11 o'clock for the weekly inventory review. Regardless of whether your appointments and meetings are scheduled in Teams or Outlook, your whole calendar appears in the Teams calendar, which is very helpful. All right, let's take a little tour around the window. Right now, I'm in Work Week view. Just to be completely transparent, I'm working late on a Saturday because I was inspired to do these videos for you guys. Let's change our view in the upper right-hand corner. Work Week view is Monday through Friday. We have another option for day, or we have another option for week. And here's the full weekly calendar. The red line indicates the current time, and the dark red line is exact day and time. So right now it's about 7:30 on a Saturday for me. Scrolling back up, you can see the full calendar again. You can navigate the calendar using the options on the left-hand side. To move one week to the previous week, or the next week, or choose a different week from the calendar, you can choose it here. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to create a new meeting for today, later today. So I don't know how many crazy people are working at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, but remember, I was inspired to do these videos for you guys. So let's go to today. We're now on the today calendar, and let's say we want to create a new meeting. Click the drop-down, and I have two options here. You may only see one. First is schedule a meeting, and the second is a live event. A live event can be a production of up to 10,000 attendees in that event. That's the last number I heard. I may be incorrect whenever you hear this, but that was the last number I heard. Most people aren't scheduling live events. I just want to schedule a meeting with my team, so I'm going to choose schedule meeting. First of all, the time zone is reflected at the top. I'm very time zone sensitive because I travel a lot for my job and I'm paranoid I'm going to miss something because I'm thinking it's in a different time zone. All right, so let's add a title here. And our attendees. So Amy needs to be there. And Jeff needs to be there. And maybe we want to have the CEO there show up if he's available. So I'm going to choose optional here and add Dan Jones. The next several fields let you choose the start date and start time. Let's say we're going to meet at 8 o'clock, which is the next half hour from now, and we're going to meet till 9. Changes it to an hour here. If this was an all-day meeting, we could select this and it would make it all day. If you have a repeating meeting, now this is something that I just noticed today. I'm excited about this because this wasn't there before. As far as I'm aware, they have added this new feature recently, and it may be just because I haven't had the opportunity to go in here and create a meeting that I haven't seen this. So if this isn't new, forgive me, but it's new to me, which happens all the time. As a trainer, this happens to me. They're like, when did that get there? I'm like, I don't know. It's brand new. I never saw it before either. All right, so I can change a recurrence if I need to. Add a channel, which I love because then if there's 20 people in a channel, I don't have to sit there and add them all at once. I can just put it in the general channel of the marketing team, and everybody in marketing would have this on their calendar. If we had a physical location, we could put it here. and then type the details for this new meeting. This might be the agenda, it might be instructions, it might be, hey, let's just get together. And you've got some formatting options available to you here to make it a little more sexy. There's another little secret tab up here most people don't notice. That's the scheduling assistant. The scheduling assistant lets you get a glance at your attendees to see if they're available. And you can drag these edges if you need to adjust the time a little bit to make sure everybody can be there. Currently, these are open hours. There's an option up here that says View My Work Hours. This comes from your Outlook calendar settings. I personally limit my meetings to 9 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon if I can help it, because I'm not an early morning person, and when I first sit down, I try to get situated for the day. Having an 8 o'clock a.m. meeting is ugly, but sometimes it's required because I'm working with people on the East Coast. If you want to limit to just your work hours, you can click View My Work Hours, and it would show you just the work hour time. Now, I'm on Saturday and Sunday, which is not in my work hours. Here's my Monday work hours, so I may want to move it out to Monday. But for demonstration purposes, I want to be able to show you how to join the meeting. So I'm going to deselect that and stick with my original time, and then send it out. As you can see, the meeting is being created and being sent out to my attendees. Maybe I need to touch base with somebody prior to that meeting. In addition to creating the scheduled meeting, you can use the option to meet now. This allows you to create what's called an ad hoc meeting. I'm going to choose Meet Now. As you can see, I have the ability to join this meeting right now. My audio is off, and I'm going to turn off the microphone because I'm recording and it's going to get ugly. So I'm going to click Join Now. And then I can invite somebody else to join the meeting. Diane is now being invited into the meeting. It's showing her as unavailable. Ad hoc meetings, you can't always be sure that that person might be available. Let's look and see if Amy's available. I'm getting a notification as Amy that Karen is trying to get a hold of me. So I'm going to go ahead and join that meeting in my other window. And here's my meeting with Amy. When you're in a meeting, you have some options. You can share your screen. So here are all of my crazy screens that are open right now. You can create a whiteboard using Microsoft Whiteboard, which is an awesome tool. Everybody can participate in the whiteboard. Now, if that's good or bad, I'm not sure. So here I can use the little pen and say hello. You got to be really good with the mouse to do this. I prefer to use my Surface. Now Amy's over here adding to the whiteboard with the red marker. You can erase things. You can move them around. Whatever you need to do. All right, nice little whiteboard. If you've ever worked remotely and been on a conference call and everybody else is in the room and you can't see what they're writing on their whiteboard, it can be very confusing. So use the whiteboard, it's awesome. And then I like to take a screenshot and save these, and I put them in my OneNote notebook. There's a little tip for you. If you want to use the full app, you can open it in the Whiteboard app. All right, so back to my meeting. Let me stop what I'm sharing there. And let's say I want to share with you my other screen. So Amy's over here in my other window. So you can see my screen in the window. All right, stop sharing. You can start a chat. So if you need to have a side chat. I'm again as Karen, so I'm going to say, hi, Amy. Thanks for joining. So you may have certain people that are talking, and you could have a side conversation and answering questions if you need to. Again, just like in our conversations or other options. So we have marking it as urgent. We have adding files if we need to, emojis, GIFs. Again, always set the little dot, 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 because you never know what's underneath there. In the dot, dot, dot here are your device settings. So if you have any problems with your headset or your microphone, you might want to check those out. And sometimes you have to leave a meeting and come back in order for those changes to be effective. Show meeting notes. So we're going to take notes in the meeting. And you can add new sections, move things up and down. I'm going to type here. Discard them, keep them, format them, all kinds of fun stuff in here. So you can add notes, make it full screen, turn on live captions, which is pretty cool. Now I don't have the microphone turned on because it will echo in the recording that I'm making here, and that's not pretty. What it does is it transcribes what everybody's saying. This is great for accessibility reasons, or if you happen to be in a very noisy room, it's helpful to you. So you might want to try that. A keypad, this is if you're dialing out to another phone. Not a lot of companies have that turned on. It just all depends on what your settings are. And then if you don't want to see other people's video, you can turn it off. If somebody's chomping on their lunch in their video, which I've seen people do, it's ugly, that's great. Now, a couple of etiquette things while you're in meetings. First of all, if you're the person running the meeting, and it's a long meeting, when you're working virtually, it's really hard to tell when people start to fidget. So as a trainer, I always try and pay attention to say, hey, looks like we might need a bio break. You don't have that option when you're working remotely in a meeting like this. So as a presenter or as the person running the meeting, make sure that you give permission periodically. Say, hey, let's take a 10-minute bio break and come back. If you happen to be that person that needs to get up and handle something, again, it's a whole different thing now in our meetings. As a presenter and having done webinars and training for years virtually, I always feel bad when the trash truck goes by or my dog would bark or, the fire truck goes by my house and it's like, oh, I just got outed. I'm working from home. Well, guess what? Now we're all working from home. So all those little weird little background things that are happening, we have to have a little grace for those. And sometimes it's somebody's little kid coming up and saying there's something. All of these things we can apologize for and are excusable. Some things are not, people. If you are wired in or not wired in your wireless headset and you need an impromptu bio break, make sure you're on mute. There's nothing worse than having somebody washing their hands or doing their business and everybody's hearing about it. That it's happened. It happens, believe me. And it's really not pleasant. And the bad thing is, when you're talking, your little circle lights up. So guess who can tell who it was that was flushing the toilet during the middle of the meeting? So either leave your headset on your desk and walk away. There's another little etiquette there. A lot of gamers know this one. It's like BRB, I'll be right back. Or AFK, away from keyboard. Gamers have been using that forever. So you might just want to let, if you have to get up and go, just let people know you're not there. No big deal. Don't take them with you and do your business. Okay. So off the soapbox. All right. So we have some other options. One other option here I want to show you is the meeting details. If you are the organizer, here are ways that people can dial in manually if they need to. You can copy the join information and send it to them in an email or a chat. And it's that same information that we have here. So if you needed to share that with people as well. All right, one more thing. I closed out of that meeting and for some reason my other one hasn't shown up yet. There seems to be a lot of latency in our demo environments and probably because everyone has overwhelmed it is my guess. I was hoping being late on a Saturday it wouldn't be as bad. Things are taking a little bit longer than they should. I added a new user to my account. It took like 6 hours for that to be provisioned, which is not normal. It normally happens in seconds. So remember, everyone is overwhelmed right now. Even the servers are overwhelmed right now because we all had to make the shift in the last minute. Okay. So have a little grace if people are having technical difficulties. My meeting never showed up that I was waiting for that I created. I'm not sure why, but if you've created a meeting, and this is what I wanted to show you, here is what the organizer view looks like. So we have all of the people that have been invited. If it's an ongoing series, you can look at the series. And if people have responded to the meeting, you will see it here. Now, obviously, these people have not responded. All of this is reflected in Outlook as well. So not only can you see the details in your meetings, you can also see them in Teams. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and hopefully this will help you to move forward a little bit more productively using Microsoft Teams and all of the Microsoft Office 365 tools in the toolbox to be more productive and working from home. I know if we stick together and we make healthy choices, we'll all get through this. And if you need any help, please visit me at shortcutsherry.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Or if you need any webinars for your organization, I'd be happy to do those as well. Thanks again. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and it's my job to make your job easier.